Hey folks, Tom from Reel Guys. We're going to do something a little different here today. We're going to do a review on a reel. So I picked up this reel last spring, used it a few times over the summer, and really put it to the test on my salmon trip just a couple weeks ago. This is a, I'm going to butcher the name, it's a Sung Yang. At least that's the name on it. I've actually seen it, the same reel with several different names stamped on it. So I'm guessing it's just mass produced by some company over in China, and they sell it, and people etch their name on it and sell it on Amazon and such. I've seen it on Amazon. That's where I got this one. I've seen it on Temu. I don't buy anything off Temu. I haven't yet anyway. So yeah, it's a cheap reel. This one is a 7/8. It's I got it for, I think it was about $40. I'll put the link on Amazon in the description below so you can take a look at it and find it pretty easy. But you'll see other ones out there. So let's talk about it for a minute. What are some of the pros on this? Well, obviously the price. Great price on it. I don't, a lot of fly reels you can't touch for, under 150 bucks minimum. So at 40 bucks, this thing is a steal. What else is good about it? Well, the looks. I mean, let's be honest. It looks pretty good. I've seen a few different versions of the 7/8 weight. This is the gold and silver. I've seen one that's all silver. I think I've seen a couple other that are black. I can't swear that they're the same reel. But again, it looks good. Um, Cons. Well, and one more pro. The smoothness of the drag. The drag is pretty good. If you saw my previous video, fighting some of those big salmon, the drag was smooth enough. It worked. So cons. First thing, they say that this is a large arbor reel. I would disagree. I put full spool backing on it, which I think was about 100 yards. And then I put the line on it, the fly line. That's your standard 8 weight forward. And if I'm not careful laying the line down as I'm fighting a fish, it will actually bunch up and rub on the bottom. So at some point I'm going to take some of that backing off, probably take about 20 yards of backing off, which it'd be fine even with those big salmon in the river. I never got down into the backing, so I think I'll be fine there. This is a switchable reel. It will go left or right-handed. The directions for switching it are not very clear. You can figure it out if you're any type of mechanically inclined, or even if you're not, with the pictures that are provided, you can probably figure out how to switch it. But it's easy enough. You take this knob off here, okay, and once you've got that loosened up, you take the spool off, okay, and there's that nut on the back. You take that nut off. There's a bearing in there. You pull the bearing out. You flip it around the other way. Put it back in. Assemble it all together. You're good to go. But while I've got this apart, the other pitfall of this, I don't know if you can see in there very well, but the frame is held on to the foot by two little screws. I don't like that. I didn't know that was the case until I was out there fishing on the first day, fighting a couple of those big salmon, and all of a sudden I realized that my reel seemed loose. I thought at first it was just the reel seat loosening up and it was wobbling in there, but it's not. These screws started to come loose. Easily fixed. Okay, before you even put the reel on the rod, when you're switching the bearing around for left to right-handed, putting the line on, whatever, get yourself some Loctite. Take these two little screws out, put some Loctite on them, put them back in. Did that. 2 more days of fishing. Fought as many big fish. Actually, probably double the big fish because it was 2 days versus 1. Reel never loosened up. So, it's definitely, it's something that can obviously happen in the future. I would much rather see this welded. If you're a welder, go ahead and I'd say tack that on, get it out of the way, make sure that it's not going to come loose. But for normal guys like me, a little Loctite in there, and I'd carry a little bit in my tackle box just to make sure if it starts to come loose while I'm out there. But other than that, I don't see many downfalls of this reel. It's is it the quality of a higher dollar reel? No, of course not. It's not going to be. Sure, I got that on there. Yep. You know, if all of your stuff says Orvis and Sims, this reel isn't for you. Okay, you're not going to be happy with it if you're used to fishing with high dollar stuff. If you were just getting into the fly fishing business, or you're like me, where you like fly fishing, you do it for, in my case, I do it for salmon and steelhead. I'm not a fly fisherman. I use a fly rod at times, but it's not my main form of fishing. Okay, for somebody like me, somebody that does only 10, 15 trips a year, using the fly rod, yeah, it's perfect for you. One other thing that I want to say, the drag, okay, big knob here, easy enough to adjust. Get it adjusted before you hook into a big fish. Okay, while the drag is smooth, the one thing that I noticed about it is it tightens up very fast. So if you happen to be into a big fish and you grab this knob and you go ahead and crank it, you may over tighten the drag more than you really wanted to. So make sure your drag is set beforehand. Don't touch it during the fight. It tightens and loosens pretty quick. You definitely don't want to loosen it up and all of a sudden have the fish run and have a big backlash like you throwing a bait caster here. I actually saw a guy do that on the trip. That was not fun. But yeah. So anyway, I'll put a link to this down in the description. You can find it, like I said, under many names that I've seen out there on Amazon. They're all, as best I can tell, they're all the same reel. The descriptions are the same. The prices are within $1 or so of each other, and just visually inspecting it on the website, it looks like the same reel. It's just got a different name stamped on it. So, if you're looking for something, you're budget conscious, want to get into fly fishing, definitely suggest this reel. If you're, as I said, you're the high-end guy, if you're just looking for a backup, you've got your Orvis Helios or whatever you've got, and you just want a backup to take with you, hey, maybe this is worth it. You never know what's going to happen out on the river. Something breaks in it. You don't want to get stuck out there. This is an inexpensive alternative. Bring it along with you. Throw it on a cheaper rod. It'll get you through the day. And honestly, I've seen so many guys leave stuff at the river. I've done it. If you were to leave this one, you're not going to be brokenhearted that you left this rod down at the river and you come back and it's gone. So, but yeah, give it a shot. Let me know in the comments if you've got one, or if you buy one, based on this recommendation. Tell me what you think. I'm not an expert by any means. Only giving you my opinion, and my opinion is, for the price, this is pretty good. It'll catch you a bunch of fish. Like I said, if you watched my last video, you saw this catch a couple big salmon. Any salmon that I lost were not due to the reel; they were due to me. So yeah, the reel performed perfectly. And I've used it for other things too. Over the summer, I used it on a different rod. Before I got this one finished, this is one that I custom made. But I used it over the summer on a different 8-weight rod. I caught some hybrid striped bass in the Ohio River on it. So it's a decent reel. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And until next time, hey, go fishing, have some fun.